I was painting a series of 18 paintings based on the Holocaust. Being a Presbyterian Christian from Middle Tennessee, it was a little difficult in spite of all of the source material that International Jewish Museum sent me on the Holocaust. They were very generous about that. But I was trying to get into the skin of it, trying to get closer. And I used Maurice Botchka, who was in the concentration camps and bore the tattoo, wrote a book called The Devil's Disciples. It was very popular right after the war in France. And so I visualized him in painting these paintings. This is the last of them. When I finished this painting, I paint at night mostly. And so when I finished this painting, I went down and read the newspaper and picked up my mail. And there was an envelope in there from the Botchkas. They have a lot of vacations in France, as you know. So getting a note from them, an envelope from them, was not a big surprise. They always wrote from vacations. And I opened it up, and it had the black border announcing Maurice's death. Thought it was particularly poignant, having thought about him so much for several months in making these works. So,
can you talk a little bit about the painting itself? Are these falling figures, or is this the head of a man, or is this a dying man, or what is going on?
This is a painting about death. You know, these are dead. This is dead. This face is dead. I wanted to represent as best I could, with the number of paintings that I did on the Holocaust, the horror of it. Actually, the other paintings have a lot of bright colors in it. They're bright explosions, kind of bomb blast, almost like you see in cartoons, and they had nice bright colors and so on, and they were deceptively beautiful until you realize what the subject was, which to me made it much more horrific. But after getting the notice, I came back and I changed Maurice's painting and took almost as much of the color as I felt like I could out of it. So
to me, a lot of the power is derived from the calligraphy of the almost as if it's abstract writing here, palimpsest or some scriptural writing or something, as if the subject matter that you painted is almost incidental to the strength that comes out of this black mysterious combination of lines. I don't know if I'm reading into it, but to me that's what makes it very sad. It's a kind of an incompleteness or ending of some kind.
Well, it is, and I think it's very perceptive that you say it like that. I must admit that I think when I'm drawing and conceiving works with their art history and their literary backgrounds and their personal backgrounds and so on, I think that I think it's an intellectual process. When I'm painting, though, it's a very emotional process that doesn't involve a very high level of intellectual thinking. It's rhythm and and the flow of it, and in that way, the image that I have set up to paint, I'm using it as a way to build up contrast and to make a painting. The painting of it is not an intellectual process for me; it's a physical process.
Right. And tell us about the couple below the concentration camp.
I've tried for years to paint a picture that would sort of symbolize man. I think if I ever got it, and of course I don't think I will, I'd love to make a rubber stamp of it and say that symbolizes all of us. But there's the self, and then there's the secret self, which harks back to so many poets, like T.S. Eliot.
Is this like an ego, an alter ego, or
the
soul of the same person?
It is.
the vanishing of the spirit or something like that?
Yes, I was reading in a French book on art, and they were saying this illustration, of this page is a fragment. In the States, we say this is a detail from the painting, but they were saying this is a fragment. And so I started thinking in terms of, well, what are our fragments? Well, it's not limbs and so on, but it's parts of our thinking that are not revealed, that maybe psychiatrists or years later somehow or another gets dug up, or maybe you dig it up yourself from the subconscious. So, but I wanted another representation of the individual. I've done that a number of times in my work, but this is the only one that's represented here.
When you dream, do you dream about yourself? And if so, do you see yourself in dreams, what you look like, your face?
Yes, I do.
Do you look like yourself that you recognize in the mirror?
Younger. I do, but I think like so many people, at least what I've read, you do have these dreams of when you were in grammar school and you were in high school and various occasions. Do you dream in color?
Depending on the mood, yes.
I don't think I dream in color.
Yeah.
A man commissioned a painting for me when I had the studio in Paris, and he kept bringing other people with him to look at the paintings. And it was of his home outside of Paris, his beautiful home. And I remember he brought me tile and he brought me stone to show me the colors and everything. I got to know him a little bit better, and he said, the reason I'm bringing these other people is I am 100% colorblind. I do not see color at all. And these other people are sort of saying, yeah, that matches your roof and this, you know. And I said, well, then why do you care? He said, well, I want to know that this is blue because I know other things that are blue. And I intellectualize color. And so you say, that's blue, then I associate it with all the other things that I know are blue. So I think that's as close as I come to dreaming color. I think I intellectualize color, but I don't think I see it in my dreams.
Well, color is a language, of course, and the situation described is almost like a muted, deaf and dumb language to that individual who can't see colors. He's able to see it through your explanation.